Hello, welcome to the Safer Consumer Products program at the California Department of Toxic Substance Control in our series of training videos on complying with priority product regulations. This series is intended to provide information, guidance, and assistance for product manufacturers and other responsible entities. But these videos may be helpful for anyone interested in learning more about our process and regulations. Here, I will briefly introduce all our available training modules to help you identify which videos may be of interest to you. The Introduction to Safer Consumer Products video gives you an overview of our program, including our mission and goals, and a description of our regulatory framework process. Who is a responsible entity will help you determine whether your company has a duty to respond after DTSC regulates a product chemical combination as a priority product. This video explains whether you have an obligation to act, and if so, when and how, based on your role in the supply chain. Once you have identified your company as a responsible entity, Options for Compliance will give an overview of the different ways you can meet the requirements of our regulations. These various options for compliance are separated into their own individual modules. The Removal or Replacement Notifications module details the 3 types of notifications you need to submit if you plan to either remove your product from the California market, remove its chemical of concern from your product, or replace its chemical of concern from your product. These notifications must be filed within the first 90 days of a product's listing, so it is important to act quickly. The Preliminary Alternatives Analysis module explains the key steps involved in the first stage of the 2-stage Alternatives Analysis, or AA process. This is the core of the Safer Consumer Products program. In the preliminary AA, manufacturers will screen a wide range of alternatives. The Final Alternatives Analysis module describes the key steps involved in the second of the 2 stages in the AA process. In the final AA, manufacturers will conduct an in-depth comparison between the priority product and the alternatives selected in the preliminary AA. The Abridged Alternatives Analysis module details the key steps and required regulatory responses involved and what you need to do if your preliminary AA finds that there are no alternatives that are safer or technically feasible. The Alternate Alternatives Analysis Reporting Options module lays out a couple of other ways to comply that are slightly different from the 2-stage AA framework. And finally, the Alternatives Analysis Threshold module describes DTSC's process for setting a concentration threshold for the chemical of concern in the priority product and what manufacturers need to do in that situation. Again, feel free to watch whichever video or videos apply to your situation. You can find them all on our SCP training materials webpage. There are other resources available that provide additional guidance and assistance. If you go to our SCP Alternatives Analysis webpage and scroll to the bottom, these 3 boxes will take you to some AA examples, the AA guide, and additional AA resources. The AA resource section includes AA fact sheets, AA report templates, and CalSafer training videos. If you have any additional questions, I recommend that you first check the frequently asked questions on our website. But if you can't get your questions answered there, feel free to contact us at saferconsumerproducts@dtsc.ca.gov. For further information, you can also refer directly to our SCP Regulations webpage, where you can find more information about the SCP regulations and a link to the regulations themselves. We also invite you to join the SCP program email list, or e-list, to receive the latest information and updates on upcoming regulations, events, and workshops. Thank you.